Hey fellas, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm tired, but I wanted to come on a little bit because I just felt like talking some BS with y'all guys about old Katie Proudfoot. Uh, Trigger warning, times 100 million. And remember, I'm just a big alleged bubble, right? It's all my bubble space, all my alleged bubble. Y'all's comments, y'all's and y'all's alone, not to reflect the channel. We do our research together. So long as we do our research, we safe, right? And long as we say alleged. All right. Anyway, I this gets that's the only part I hate about doing is having to say that. Anyway, I'd rather just be able to talk. Let's start with the neighbor. You know that news story out right now is that she told the neighbor she had to show proof of life. That means that the heat was on, right? We talked about this last week, I think, but still, the heat was on, right? I believe the heat was on. And last night we talked a lot about how she did leave to go search right by the school and here and there and everywhere, but never. It's the only time she ever left the house, and like she waited like 8 more days to even talk. But what's so funny is landfill searches and all that were, boom, and then they start talking right away. That's so crazy, right? Like they were trying to get way out ahead of this thing, but they knew he wasn't in that landfill. They knew that. That's why they weren't stressed about it, but I think they realized, oh God, they're checking anywhere and everywhere, and that's what scared them. And then they started using that. He could be anywhere and everywhere. They started using exactly what TBI said. That's crazy. But, this case, it is so different than I would say almost any case in the true crime world. This is truly a one-of-a-kind case. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case is a one-of-a-kind case. It really is. I don't know if this is the new thing that's going to be coming now, is they just, when they get tired of their kids, they just vanish them, or what, but seems like it's, since 2021, what summer went miss 2021? 2021, it seems like it's just been happening in Tennessee. Look at how many just vanished since 2021 to Sebastian. I bet a whole bunch. And how many of them are found? I bet maybe none. That's freaking sad. So what are the odds, no matter what happens, that they're going to find this young man? What do y'all think the odds are? I mean, I pray that he's found right now, right? Like yesterday. I'm just saying, what do y'all think? And how long do y'all think it's going to take? Because I clearly thought right after the holidays were over, something would break, within a week to 10 days. And we've been past that. So I don't really know. I know they got a lot, but evidently to them, I don't know. They're not utilizing it, or they're just waiting for them to slip up. And I know FBI, you got to go back to the Rex Sherman, the Go-Go Beach, right? Look how long they traced that guy, right? After they had his name when they started the year before, I think, or 18 months, but it was a while that they had him on the radar. And they were just waiting, right, for that one mistake, and he finally made it. And then they got him. But it goes to show you that just because they have so much that you could probably just arrest them on, they don't do it till they're ready. And I'm wondering when they're going to be ready, right? Because we know they could have locked him up for CPS long time ago. Like the day that Sebastian went missing would have been the red flag to CPS too. Okay, sorry. Just like I felt Nikki McCann, that should have been the biggest red flag of all. And they don't look at it that way, evidently. Like, CPS is a big deal. It's not like it's some little slap on the hand type thing. I don't understand. Like, they take your damn kids. Literally. Ask Donna Candace Wells. They take your kids. What the heck happened in this one? I mean, I'm wondering if Katie was just like everything that Sebastian was telling those teachers, she was saying the opposite. And CPS was like, okay, do we trust this child with autism or do we trust these two military parents? Right? That's what I think did it. That's why I think CPS didn't come down on their ass. Trigger warning, guys. Sounds 100 million. Maybe 200 million tonight. I don't know. But and remember, these are just my thoughts, my free speech, my speculation. But the true crime world is really going crazy right now, especially with this case. It's nuts. I mean, now there's so many. You can always tell, right? Like the true crimers that have their podcasts that discuss what's going on, and they just try to figure it out, right? And then there's some that they try to debunk everything, like that Chris and Katie are trying to debunk. Like, there's a difference. And I understand people take sides. It happens. It's life. And it's just so weird to see so many are pushing, the suspects, right? They're the suspects. They're, the CPS. They're looking at it for what it is, and some of them are not. And I get not being biased, right? If you want to not be biased, but don't defend either one, right? Just talk about the case and that's it, right? And a lot of us forget about just the case, and we start picking up on little things, and we see little things and they drop hints, and of course we dissect the hell out of them, right? Like we did in science class. It's just like dissect the hell out of them and try to break down to get one red flag, one truth, one something out of it. But yet, what little bit they've given us, to us is a lot, right? It is. To me, it is a lot. Like, they're actually showing us some things now that we never knew existed, right? And, of course, we have our theories on these things. And we try to bring out the facts in them, right? The red flags in them, the things like that. And then, like, I watched a few minutes of one last night. Because y'all know me, I always watch Jennifer Coffin-Docker. Shout out to her. Any FBI like that, you got to watch them. I mean, they do have a lot of knowledge. And, I caught about maybe 7 minutes of it towards the end. I was just flipping through stuff, and I was trying to get onto my community page and post some things. I still can't figure the damn thing out, but I saw it and I was like, oh man, let me check it out. So then of course I popped on it, but to see a few of the things, and I don't know, I didn't catch the whole show. I just caught the end, like I said, but it to me, it's going to go back to the landfill search, the FBI flyer, and the reward money from the FBI. That's the one that we can go by, right? Like last scene here, that, that's the one we need to go by, because like we've all thought before, somehow, some way, they either carried him out of that house, wheeled him out of that house, something, but he didn't walk because he didn't leave a scent. So to me, he would have left the trail if he'd have walked. So was that even them getting him out of the house on that video? Or was it like I thought? Was it the way to Terry to pick up Kathy and Katie to come in? Like, I don't know. What was it, right? I mean, I'm juggling back and forth on these two theories that I have in my head. Like, part of me thinks 50% of me is like something happened in that house, and that's how they covered it up. But then again, some of me thinks she showed the proof of life that they got home, but then what about after that? Did she leave again? Did Kathy come by and pick her up? I mean, and she'd take Kathy's car and Kathy stayed at the house? I don't know. But they sure do have all their times down to the T, don't they? They got their times for every timestamp. Why? A lot of people, why do they have all their time? Because they planned this shit. So it's all about time to them. They knew what law enforcement was going to ask them. She knew she needed to have that dash cam. She knew all this stuff that she did, she knew she had to have. And then she pushed it out like, well, they asked me for it. I almost bet you she offered it. Because she was so nervous that she was going to get arrested that she probably offered it. Hey, I got this. I got this. He probably didn't ask her. I mean, I think they had thought they were suspects from day one. So why would, that's why I feel they were just going to let them hang themselves. And I mean, they pretty much did, with the way they went about everything. But it's still, when you go back to those interviews and you listen to some of the things that these profilers and stuff break down about, certain ways that they talk, certain ways that they breathe, you catch on to all that, and then you rewatch it and you're like, damn, they're right. Like, they're really right. Like, you can see the difference in how she changed her tone, changed her tune, changed everything. Like, it was all controlled by, like, her trying to breathe. And then whenever she had to say something that she wanted to get cut off, she would, like, inhale or, and then he would take over. I seen that now. That's crazy. I went back and watched it at work. I was like, what the heck? I really didn't pay attention to those little things. But, yeah, there's so much to get out of that interview, the Chronicles of Olivia interview. Like, and she even kind of helped them along the way. Imagine if she wouldn't have helped them, how bad. I mean, I still go back to the 3 things she was asked that she could say, which, why would you say you're not in trouble? Like, why would you say that? That to me was, and why would you not even say something positive? We love you. You're not in trouble. We want you to come home. That's it? That's what you're going to ask your child? Why not get your damn ass home? Where you at? I'll come and get you. Just call me. I mean, you had your airtime, and yet you didn't use it. You used it to lay out y'all's story, lay out y'all's plan. Here we go. And lay it all out for the world to see, like Don and Candace. Smiling. Probably thinking, well, it worked for them. It better work for us. But then some of the things they did were different than the other 2 did, although I think everything is almost a perfect alignment, even to the damn time. I know it's 12 hours difference between 6:30 p.m. and 6:30 a.m., but damn, like they even chose the same time? And that 3 a.m., yeah, now, I mean, when we see that, if that is 100%, that's 2:58 a.m. when they see that vehicle, that is huge. I'm sorry, but it's huge. Because, like I said, it proves the Uber driver wasn't involved. It cuts out, eliminates a whole lot of that. But I'm wondering, was he actually seen? Like, what I got from Miss Coffin Doctor at the end of that little bit I caught, right, was that she somehow thinks that he walked out on his own. But yet maybe Katie forced him to, and somebody picked him up that maybe one of them know, or somebody else. So was he actually seen? But then who's the other person that runs back to the house? That makes 0 sense. Like, that's what makes 0 sense to me. Or was he seen on another camera? Right? Like maybe, well, no, that wouldn't work. Because if he was carried out, there's no way unless they seen him being carried out and thought maybe somebody grabbed him and snatched him up and drove off with him. Maybe that would make sense, but I don't know, that the dogs would have had his scent if he'd have walked out. I'm serious. I feel that. I mean, I think everybody feels that. Those dogs were there immediately. They would have had his scent. That was only hours. I mean, I just don't see how that's why I think they saw him in a car. Either he was sitting up like Matty Soto, or he was actually alive and sitting up, or he was fighting, trying to get the hell out of the car, or who knows what he went through. That's what breaks my heart right there. That's why it's even hard to talk about this shit. It's because it does break my heart to think about that poor kid may have been fighting and screaming and kicking, and that's horrible to think about. Poor Sebastian Rogers having to go through that shit. He went through something, and I believe it was foul play. I'm sorry. I pray to God I'm freaking wrong. I pray every day, 10 times a day, that I'm wrong. But I don't know. It just, what else is there, right? Like, what freaking else is there? There's nothing else. Like, I mean, I guess you could say he's hidden, but golly, don't you think we would have seen him? Unless he's in Alaska, but I don't know. And I know there's still people that don't know nothing about this case. I ask people all the time, random people all the time. A lot of them still don't know about it. And I would think everybody would know. But they don't. They really don't. But I had to get off of that topic for a second. But, I didn't mean to change the subject. But I just, it's hard to think about because I feel so bad for him, knowing that he probably went through something really bad or really tragic. I mean, even if your parents gave you away to somebody and you had to get into a vehicle, even if you knew that person, like say it was Katie, Chris's sister, right? I'm just saying that, using a name, right? Don't take that. But allegedly, there you go. Allegedly, it was Chris's sister because she had been with him that day. So was that part of the plan to get him back comfortable with her, around her again, so she could take him that night? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I doubt they checked her cars and her stuff and her phones, right? Probably not. I'm sure hopefully they are now, but I mean, they would never come out and say they got their shit checked. But that's why I think they set them up with the oil changes and stuff, or services on their cars and check their cars that way. That's a lot of times what they'll do. FBI will do, what they won't want you to know is they'll, tell the dealership to send you a service call or something. Hey, come in and check something. It's something's wrong, or and then you'll go in thinking it's legit because it's a dealership and it's really a setup, to check your data in your car. I've heard a lot of those stories. But then again, I don't know, guys. I really don't know. I feel that something happened, I think, either right after the roadhouse or by 9:30, 10 p.m. in that hour. Because, if she was on the phone with him, but then you got to go by what the neighbor said. If she was asleep on the couch, how the heck was she on the phone with him? Did they just leave their phones on and both lay down? And then somebody, okay, we'll hang up at this time. And then she just dozed off with the phone on just so it would look like they were talking. I mean, that's possible. I've thought about that. I mean, you can do it, right? Like, he can just sit there and put it to his speaker, sit in his lap, watch TV while she's sleeping, and then say, hey, get up. At like 11:30, I got to leave now. And then hang up, and then he leaves and drives his 3 hours there. I mean, it's 3 a.m, 3 hours here, 3 minutes here. Like, everything was 3, so, I mean, why not call it that, right? And then that would have put him back in time to be in that crane early. And that's why he went early, so he wouldn't fall asleep. He knew if he went to that camper, he'd pass out. And he wouldn't get up, and the plan wouldn't work, right? He wanted to make sure he was in that crane for some reason. As, I mean, everybody on that job site, I mean, they sent him home and told him don't come back until this is handled. So I think TBI, whoever questioned them, probably FBI, whoever questioned them must have really questioned them. And I'm still curious of what they said. Oh, he was gone until Sunday and then came back Sunday and then, I don't know what. Who knows? I mean, they might not be able to keep tabs on him like that. I don't know. But somehow, some way, they did something with this young man. And they know the answers. That's why they've told so many lies. But, we still have to just wait and be patient, I guess. And, I mean, keep searching, keep looking. But just waiting on the justice system to bring justice. And that sucks sometimes. The wait sucks sometimes. But, the more we think about it, really, even if they arrest them now, they're not going to tell anything. They're not going to say where he is. Not unless they offer him a sweet-ass deal. Like, a sweet deal, maybe. Then they will, but I mean, just like Steph Stern, they're not going to talk, I don't believe. I feel bad because I don't think they will, but then we might not ever know where this young man is. That's what sucks about it. I hope to God it doesn't end that way, but even if they are arrested and go to prison and they don't talk, we'll never know. I mean, all we can pray is one of them will, like I said, take a deal, right? But I don't know, guys. I just kind of wanted to sit back and chat a little bit about it because I feel like whatever happened, it's one or two ways, right? Either she left right after the roadhouse, Kathy came over there, got her, she took Kathy's car, Sebastian left, drove to Chris, and then that was her coming back, running to the house, Kathy going to the car, like, to get in with Terry or whatever to leave. I don't know what they did, but they did something. And whatever that video is, they are trying so damn hard to say it's nothing that we know that that's something, right? because of how they're doing it. And they're trying to get a guy to pay a guy 15 grand to change angles on a camera and try to make it look like, nope, nope, nope. Y'all knew who it was. What happened to y'all knew who it was? It was somebody arguing in a car, a couple, or that lived in the neighborhood. What's up with all these other stories that never panned out to nothing, right? Nothing. That's BS. So many lies. And then so many trying to cover things up or change things around. Just fess up and say it. Like, put your big girl panties on and your big boy panties on. Put the barbecue plates down and say something. I mean, they are living their best life right now. I bet they each put on $1.25. At least, trigger warning, at least $1.25 each. At least 4 sizes up. No, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, they're living their best life for sure. Unless, they had faith, but then who knows what that poor little girl went through either, right? How many times she got screamed at and yelled at by Chris. Good God, there's no telling. And then for the daughter, the oldest one, to speak out at Kathy like that, whew, that was a good one. I'm glad she fired a strike at her. That old cracker didn't say nothing. Nope, she didn't say nothing, I bet. I haven't seen her say anything back. I mean, she's not going to win against that mother anyway. She's just a grandma. She's not going to win. She don't have that much power over there. They don't know or care who she is in New Mexico. I mean, of course, she thinks because she's in a little town and they got a lot of pool that they got pool everywhere, but they don't. And I'm sure their world's done crashed in around them right now. They're probably building a home in Canada, a new one, big old house to move to. Watch, it wouldn't surprise me if they moved. They've moved a lot around that area, a lot. If you go back and look at their house history, whew, they moved a lot. And they own a lot. So, they got money. They can pay things off, right? But at least it didn't work. At least Faith got to stay with Nina. That's the main thing. Because there is no telling. She might have already been gone a long time ago. Whew. Thank God that one got saved. But, that's the difference between a fighting mother and a non-fighting mother, right? Goes to show you how what they put Nina through, and she still fought to the very end, right? They didn't even fight for Sebastian, and supposedly he just walked out the house. I don't know why he walked out that door. I don't know why he walked out that door. I've been thinking about it weeks before. I don't know why he walked out that door. Shut the hell up. He didn't walk out that door. You carried him out the door. Just some of the things, man. It just gets on me. Tonight I was just going to let free and just ramble. And I was hoping y'all going to be okay with that. Because there's so much times you build up all this pressure, right? Working on all this stuff and then working a full-time job. It's hard work. It's not easy. I promise. It's not easy. And then, getting the videos loaded, getting the thumbnail. It's just a lot of work, right? And then to work full-time, it's hard. But you still keep these cases in your head all day no matter what, right? And I still, if I have 5 minutes here or there, I'll search something or try to go back and find something I didn't see or didn't catch. And like tonight, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get on here and just say what I want to say about it and just be done with it. But, I only can search 2 weeks out of the month, pretty much, right now. Now that I went back to work. But like summer, I'm going to use a lot of vacation. That way I can search a lot. But I still have to try to make sure I target areas that are going to hopefully pay off, right? Or at least search something that maybe wasn't searched that well, just to say, okay, this area is cleared, right? Like, shout out to Silver's on the scene. Like, there was a couple of areas that he had wanted checked out. And, where the car and stuff is. And, there's nothing there. But it's still, sometimes you have to look at it again, right? And I couldn't spend a lot of time, but, a little bit of time. And just to check the things that he had, wanted people to help check, which I think that's good. If we all work together, that's how you get things done, right? I mean, I have a few areas that I'm fixing to send him that I want him to maybe look at next time he's there, or if I can't go back for another 2 weeks or so, right? So I think working together is going to help a lot, but there's so many areas. Just got to keep going and keep pushing on, right? And we can cover a good 5 to 7 mile square in a day. It's not hard to do if you just stay on it like we do. I mean, I don't spend that much time making videos on it, right? I'm mainly searching. And I'll take a 10 or 20 minute here, a 10 minute here, or 5 minute here and film a little bit, but I'm mainly like just on the search. And sometimes you just have to stay focused like that, right? But I know I still need to, film some of it. But yeah, that's why I got the GoPro. I'm trying to learn what I need to do to be able to upload that, because I do wear the GoPro the whole time just so I can go back and see if I missed anything. But I haven't figured out how to break it down and stop it in sections and load it. Like, because if not, say it runs 13 and a half hours, right? While I'm searching, right? On a 20-hour battery, it can run up to 20 hours. So, like, if it runs the whole entire day, I can't post that on here because nobody's going to watch freaking 18 hours or 16 hours or 15 hours worth of footage straight, right? So I need to learn a few things on that, but I'm learning as I go. But I don't know, guys. I'm just at a point now to where I feel like they've damaged themselves enough where it's not fixable. Even if they were to come out right now and say that they're not involved, we would still automatically, most likely, believe they're involved. I feel like it's past that point. I mean, it's just because of the things they've said and done. That's why. And in that Roadhouse clip, just like, I know that tore her apart, because everybody's like, why are you taking pictures of him while he's eating? Why are you being to Candace Wells, take pictures like she did of Summer in the back of the van? Like, why are you doing that? Like, you want a last photo before you get rid of him? Like, you want to remember him eating mac and cheese? I mean, I don't understand. It's just so many. Like, see, that to me, that'd be enough to bring them in and at least hammer down on them. And maybe they have done that. I don't know. I mean, hell, if they're really asking for proof of life, they might have really interrogated the hell out of them. And they just didn't crack. I mean, it is possible. I mean, as close as they keep everything, we'll never know. But I'm still wondering if she did fail a couple of those questions on that test. And it could be just rumors, right? We don't know. We'd take it with a grain of salt. But it's still out there. So, I mean, if somebody could vet it, that would be crazy, right? Wouldn't know which questions they were. Oh. But, that's basically a confession in a way. Like, I know they say it can't be used against you, but they can use that against you in a way. That's why they want you to take them. It tells them whether to clear you out up front or not. To me, when you take that lie detector test, it's either going to clear you or it's going to keep you as a suspect. And we know what happened in this one. So that's why I feel that maybe she didn't do as well as she's speaking out to have done, right? But who knows? Who really knows, right? That's the hardest part. Uh-oh, Ruby's barking. Uh-oh. Ain't no telling. Probably a cat. There's been like 4 cats been running around out here. So I don't know. Maybe they're wanting to... Somebody dropped them off or something, maybe. But, let's just keep Sebastian in our prayers and bless his little heart. Like, we just need to... We can't give up. I mean, that's the thing. It's just there's no quit in me. Like, I just can't quit, right? I mean, of course, sometimes you get so frustrated you think about it, but you can't, and we know we can't, because they don't have a voice, so we have to be a voice for them. Like, I think God put everybody here for a reason, right? And maybe this is the calling that we're supposed to be doing. I mean, we're doing this over 8 years. That's a long time. And, I mean, I should have started my channel 8 years ago, right? Like, golly, we've been through a lot. Over 139 different cases, I think. Like, a lot of stuff we've gone through in 8 years. That, I mean, I used to film my searches and stuff, but never did I ever publish them like that. I mean, I still have them all. Maybe I need to go do that one day, get some old ones out, because it was the other dog, not Ruby, on a lot of them. And, Coco. My good old dog, Coco. That's just her name, Coco. But she was a good hunter, too. And then I have the 2 males too. So, yeah, been a long time, but it's just, I don't know, this case just got me for some reason. And I feel like I had to take a step back, look at everything again. And that's what I'm kind of doing right now. And then really focus on one thing that I think is what happened. And I'm just going to go with that theory, right? And stick on that one, because I'm still torn between the two. And I need to get one to really be able to dig deep, right? I mean, we know that they know something. We know the answers are lie between them four. I know a lot of people seem to be trying to throw Seth into the mix too. But you got to remember, regardless of what you may think about him, he didn't know about CPS. So who are we to say that what he would have done? We don't know what he would have done. Most likely he would have taken Sebastian, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure that most likely he would have been like, you're not going back. Most likely that's what would have happened. And I mean, who knows? There's a chance that they might have tried to work it out. I don't know. Or maybe he'd have been okay with Chris being out of the house. I don't know. But I mean, we got to stop and think of that. He didn't go vanish on Seth's watch. What if he would have what if he would have vanished from Seth's house? Then we'd be in a different story, right? But that's not what happened. So we kind of got to go with what happened, right? And that's kind of what we got to go by right now. And they kind of just nosed him out to the wolves and didn't even really speak to him for a couple of weeks, and kind of just all over a GoFundMe or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, they're over here giving $15,000 to a YouTuber. So, I mean, what's the difference? Put that money towards your freaking reward fund is what I say. And try to get the answers. But the problem is they don't want the answers. They want those two little pieces of evidence to be like wiped out. They're like being like Brian Kohlberger, right? They want it taken out. They want to debunk all that shit. That'll never happen, but that's what they want. I mean, I think they're caught on camera. I think they got one of them, either Chris or Katie or Terry or Kathy. I think one of them they got on camera. And I know there is another possibility out there that we don't really talk about much, and that is that morning, maybe she took him that morning. Maybe that's why she left at dark, right before it got daylight, so nobody would see him. You got to remember, she was in the garage, so she could have easily put him in that back seat and drove off. Told him they were going to play a game, lay down or something. She said, I like to hide, so who knows? I mean, I don't feel so, because then that video would be for nothing in the middle of the night. It wouldn't be relevant, right? That's why I feel that it happened either right after the roadhouse or around 9 or between 9 and 10. That's kind of where I'm at now. But I mean, the cover-up happened at 3 a.m., I think, but I don't know. Hopefully they know, right? Hopefully they know more. Anyway, guys, y'all have a good one. I'm beat. I'm tired. I'm going to go in and take a shower. I just wanted to ramble for a little bit. I hope I don't ramble y'all's ears off, but y'all have a wonderful night, guys, and, justice for Sebastian Rogers and for all the missing, all the voices. They need us, right? They need our prayers. They need our thoughts. They need our kind words about them. They need us to spread their faith, right? It's what we got to do. So we're going to continue. All right, guys, y'all be good. Y'all be safe. Remember, allegedly, I'm a big bubble, and trigger warning times 100 million. I say lock them up. All right, guys, we'll talk later. Y'all be safe, be good. And remember, we do love all y'all so much. Y'all be safe, guys, all right? Bye.